it's Betsy and Tyler Kepke, your relationship experts. And we're wondering, have you ever wanted to connect with your partner, but you just felt like that spark was no longer there?
Yeah, and I certainly think it is normal for there to be some ebbs and flows in a relationship and how sparky you're feeling with your partner, and we have certainly been there. There was a time in our relationship when it certainly seemed like to me that Betsy was dictating a lot of the decisions that were going on in our household, and it really made me feel like I wasn't trusted to make those decisions or follow through on the things that we needed to get done. And really the result then was I wasn't super in love with Betsy at the time, and I mean, we've talked about this word controlling. It can sometimes come off as pretty accusatory, but it really just felt rather controlling at that point in our relationship.
So what we want to share with you today is the second half of the framework that helped us break out of our yuck. And if you missed our previous video where we shared the 3 U's that shut down intimacy, make sure you go ahead and check that out. Today we're going to talk about the 3 C's that shut down intimacy. They are controlled, closed, and criticized. And let me tell you, when I saw these 3 C's, I was like, oh geez, this is me. And the first one is controlled, and this was a big aha moment for me, that I recognized that I was trying to dictate and micromanage and, nagging and making the honey-do list and all of that stuff because I didn't feel, it kind of goes back to I didn't feel safe. I didn't trust that things were going to get done unless I was the one in control of it and I was the one dictating it. And it made for an ugly dynamic in our relationship.
And that leads right into the second C, which is feeling very closed. And I think kind of cascading from this controlled feeling I was getting from Betsy, I started to then really close myself off from a lot of things. The more that she pushed, the more that I kind of dug in and kind of reverted into this shell. And I really got to a point where I just kind of felt like, keep your head down, Kepke, and just let her do what she wants. And that was super unhealthy and wasn't benefiting us in any way.
All right, and the third C is criticized. So I'm going to share an example from another relationship, and that is I was interviewing an Olympic gold medal winning coach and asking him, he's married, he's got 3 kids, how do you balance your family life with your career? And one example that he shared was that his wife understands that he has an inner punk and an inner prince, and how can she elicit the prince? So his example was it's his responsibility in the household to take the trash out. So if he forgets and she comes at him and says, oh my gosh, I can't believe you forgot to take the trash out again, and like ends up on a pile-on rant, what she's going to get back is the punk, is that resistance, is that digging heels in. If she approaches him and says, I know that the man that I married, the responsible, driven, hardworking man, just forgot to take the trash out this week. Is there something I can do to support you? She's going to draw out the inner prince. So I thought that was a great example, and I was like, I'm using that in my marriage.
So we've talked a few times about the ebbs and flows in a relationship, and addressing one of the myths that kind of goes along with that is the idea that you shouldn't need to work to get past some of those low points in a relationship, or you shouldn't need to put much effort into things to maintain a spark in a relationship, because if it's a good relationship, it should be there all the time, right?
Hang on, let's be crystal clear here. If you're going to be in a relationship with another human, then it's going to take effort, it's going to take focus, it's going to take attention, it's going to take energy if you want to sustain and ultimately thrive over the long term.
Another myth we'd like to address that often is a part of relationships is this myth that I'm perfect in the relationship. It's not really me that's the issue. A lot of the blame, a lot of the problem in the relationship is my partner. We're doing this, we're going to couples therapy for Betsy.
All right, here's the deal. If that's your mindset, that your partner is the problem, you don't have any wiggle room. Like, where are you going to go with that? You can't control the other person. So it's time to look in the mirror, and that's what ultimately got us unstuck, was me looking at those 3 C's and being like, oh, and he's looking at the 3 U's and being like, oh, right? We gotta be able to look in the mirror. So I challenge you this week to examine those 3 C's for yourself. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, where are you at with how controlling you're being? And just be brutally honest. Like, it's okay. You're here for a reason. So where are you at, scale of 1 to 10 with controlling, and why? Can you start to identify why is that? Because then perhaps you'll be able to communicate that constructively to your partner. 2, how closed off are you? Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, just after this video, jot these numbers down. Are you feeling super closed off? Are you like not wanting to engage in the bedroom and like, you know, because you're just like, this is not attractive. We don't have an attractive thing going on here. And then number 3, how are you approaching what you're talking about in the context of your relationship? Are you coming at it and eliciting the punk? Or are you coming at conversations with the framework that I know there's a prince or a princess inside, and I want to draw that out?
Again, nobody likes to be criticized. That's the hardest thing to try to accept and get past, is that criticism piece. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Please make your comments, ask any questions below. Share this with one person you care about. And until next time, we are Tyler and Betsy Kepke. Thanks for watching.